morning, hey. Happy New Year, and welcome to the Michael Zehr Show, first show of the year. And today's date is January 5th, 2024, and we're streaming to you from the Rising Eagle Studios here at the Warrior Healing Center in Sierra Vista, Arizona. I hope everybody had a great holiday season. Once again, Happy New Year. It's so good to be back in for another year. We're gonna rock it this year at the Warrior Healing Center. We got a lot of exciting things coming up, and today, instead of interviewing a veteran, we asked a couple of volunteers that are here and come in and volunteer their time to the Warrior Healing Center, and they are Glenn and Melissa Ress. And I got it right, didn't I?
You got it right.
I got it.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So, yeah. All right. So tell us first off, before we get into what you do here and all the exciting things that we have planned for this new year coming up, tell us, since neither one of you are veterans yourself, what is it that brought that passion to come here and help veterans? What was that driving cause that got you involved with helping?
Yeah, so my brother, who served in Vietnam, he didn't come home.
Oh, I'm
so
sorry.
He passed while he was there, and I don't know how to really explain it. I was 5, so what did I know? And later in life, it really started to feel like there was a void, there was something missing. That day definitely changed my family dramatically, set the path for some things to go on that, families have to deal with.
Right. Did you have other siblings as well?
Yeah, I have 2 older sisters.
Yeah, so then it not only affected just yourself, then
Right.
your whole dynamic.
The whole dynamic of the family changed. They were older, so they knew him more. Obviously, they had more of a connection. Me being 5 is like, okay, somebody was in my life for a little bit, and now they're not there. But it really took a toll on my parents,
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, and my mom was really pretty depressed until she died 10 years later. It was kind of like, her heart broke, and
right.
that was about
hard to recover from that.
Yeah, definitely. So
and what was his name?
His name was Weston David McLean.
Okay, and you have a picture of him?
I do have a picture of this handsome fella.
There you go, right there.
Yeah, is that good?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So, he was a little over 19. His birthday was July 13th, and he was killed on July 22nd.
Oh, wow.
In 1966. So, he was in, so this is something I found out recently because I had a bag of stuff that was like letters that he sent, and I was going through it, and I saw something that my mom had written to somebody, and he was in, and I don't know what any of this means.
Okay.
He was in L Company, 3rd Battalion, 1st Marine Division.
Okay.
What does any of that mean? Would you be able to tell me?
Well, it's where the unit that he was assigned to.
Yeah, okay.
And depending on, did you try Googling the unit at all?
No, I didn't.
Because you might be able to get some information that way, or maybe if any of our viewers might know, especially some of our Marines that watch the show, maybe they might be able to explain it. And then if you want to talk with them, they can leave something in the comment section, and then we can have them reach out to you that way as well.
That's beautiful.
So we can see if we can get you some more information on where that unit was assigned out of and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, Glenn, do you have any veteran or military history in your family?
Yes. My dad and his brothers, so my uncles, they all served. Exactly where, I'm not sure. I think my dad was in Greenland and a couple other places. No combat experience, but was in the military. Brother-in-law, so there's some military experience there. So I feel a strong desire to help with whatever I can at the given time.
Right.
Yeah, so
That's very admirable,
Yes,
both of you, to
well,
do that.
you know, we feel that they need
Yeah.
help, they need assistance, and if we
Uh-huh.
can help in any little way that might ease their burden that they carry every day, that's what we're trying to do here.
Maybe bring a little bit of peace and hope and
Yes, very
joy
good. That's
and
a very good way to put it.
Love, peace, and light.
And some good light, exactly. So, yes.
So tell me, Melissa, do you have any other family members that also served as well?
Yes, my dad did. He was in the Navy in the Seabees. He tells a little story. He was in, I think it was Hawaii, and he was driving this big, massive truck that had all these wooden poles on it, or something like that, and he always used to say how the straps broke and the poles wound up all over the place. You know, I mean, it was just a little story that whether it happened or not, you know, my dad was quite the storyteller. So so he was in the Seabees there.
So let's get to know you both a little bit personally. Where are you both from, and how did you meet, and when did you get married?
So we're originally from New York. We lived
Okay.
on Long Island, Westbury, Long Island. We actually went to the same schools. After, I guess, high school, we kind of started going together. I went to college in New York City. We continued to live on Long Island. We got married on September 12th.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember what year?
Do you remember?
Do you
what
remember?
year?
See, that's where the husbands, that's where we get in trouble.
Yeah. 1982.
Okay,
Right.
you got
So
it.
it's been a beautiful
God,
41 years of beautiful bliss together.
Mhm.
We're basically on the same path with a lot of the things that we want to do. Of course, Melissa has some things she likes to do. I continue to work full time here in the city of Sierra Vista as a bus driver for Vista Transit, which
Really?
is the blue buses you may see around town in here.
Uh-huh.
So I get to talk to and associate with a lot of the residents, a lot of the people who live in the town, and
Very cool. I did not know you did that.
many veterans. So I
Yeah.
always am trying to refer them to come to the Warrior Healing Center to get whatever services that they might require or they might not even know may be available to them for whatever needs they may have. We actually have 2 children. Weston, who is named after Melissa's brother,
Right.
and our daughter is Mallory.
And where do they live at?
They live up in the Phoenix area.
Okay.
So so we visit them quite often. So it's very nice to
Good
be out
deal.
this way.
Yeah.
What do you have to add?
You did a wonderful job.
Well, thank you.
So as a bus driver, I didn't know that you did that, and that's fascinating, because just the other day I was driving and I saw the city has one of those big, like, real full-size buses. I didn't know we had one like that.
We do have one, and that runs through more of the area that would have more like Shoppers, like Fry's grocery store, Food City, and Walmart.
Right.
So you'd get more customers, more passengers, and of course they'd have their bags and whatnot that they bought. So so it is a larger vehicle. We do have capacity to have two passengers in wheelchairs, and they can have their mobility devices, whether it's a walker or whatever else that they require. And the drivers
Outstanding.
the drivers do assist them with their mobility devices, and we secure them to the bus, and make for a smooth ride, hopefully most of the time.
Is there a fee to ride the bus?
At the present time, it is no charge to ride the buses.
Why did they switch that up? Because it used to be, because my mom, when she used to live over at Bonita Vista, and she used to take the bus all the time, and then they were charging. What was the city's thinking, do you know, behind allowing the driver to ride free?
I believe they wanted to increase the ridership, which has definitely happened.
Okay.
as most people know, transit systems operate on federal funds, grants, and subsidies. So I'm sure the more passengers that the city can show when they do to apply for these grants, the more passengers they show, the better possibility they'll have to receive greater size grants, which then in turn can get more buses and take care of vehicle maintenance and fuel and all that kind of stuff. So the nominal fee that was charged for passengers previously really did not do a whole lot for the expense that is incurred.
Right.
Transit systems are there really for the benefit of the city that it does serve. So that I think is the main reason. Yes.
Well, and it seems like it's pretty successful too, because I know of at least 3 or 4 veterans that come here to the Warrior Healing Center, because there's a bus stop right here at the center as well that take advantage of the transit system.
Yes, there is actually a stop just right outside the door almost. Just, I would say, 150 yards from the door, right there on the main street here on Paseo San Luis. So, so it is very successful, yes.
So tell us, how did you guys end up in Sierra Vista all the way from the East Coast in New York?
Well, it kind of starts out with me getting sick. So, and needing a easier way of life. And so if people don't know, I've had a few strokes and about 20 or so mini strokes, and it affects me, and it affects my thinking, my language, my finding words, things like that.
You hide it well.
I do hide it well. I don't like to bring attention to a lot of that.
Right.
And so with that, when you have a health challenge, you change your ways. And so pretty much Glenn's parents passed away and my dad passed away all in about maybe a year and a few months of each other at this one span of time. And it was like, wow, this is the Lord telling us this window is open. You guys better do something to get out of the rat race of the stress. So we did. We put the house on the market, and our son was already out here from going to school here, and so it was...
Here in Sierra Vista?
Well, he was... actually he was in Sierra Vista at the time we decided to move.
Okay.
But not for that long, and we, wound up moving in with him and pay back,
Right.
Mom and Dad are moving in. And then we looked everywhere. We looked all Gilbert, Mesa, Chandler, every weekend we would go up, and then every weekend we'd drive down the 90 and we'd look at each other and say, wow, this is beautiful. And so we decided to settle here. And then since then, our son has moved up to the Phoenix area. And then our daughter came out a few years later. She called and said, I'm getting out of Dodge and I'm coming your way. So she moved in with us. She stayed here for a little bit, and then she has made her way up to Tucson and then up to the Phoenix area. So
well, and it's only a 3-hour drive up to Phoenix, so it's not that bad.
It's a different 3-hour drive than a New York 3-hour drive.
Oh, definitely. In New York, in about 3 hours, you go about, 5 miles maybe?
Well, I was working 26 miles away from my home, and it took me over an hour every day. Sometimes an hour and a half. That was part of my stress level, was being, was all of that.
My commute into the city was definitely almost 2 hours each day, each way, every day. And now I'm only 3.5 miles from work, which is a beautiful thing. I even previously would ride my bicycle. I saved up enough money to buy a Jeep, which I always wanted to get. So I moved out here, saved money, bought a Jeep. It's all paid off.
Awesome.
So I'm very happy about that. So that's definitely a lot less stress. 6 minutes to work as opposed to almost 2 hours. That's a definite benefit. Yes.
Yeah.
So how did you end up finding the Warrior Healing Center? How did you get involved with them?
Well, when you guys started, was just something that I had heard about, and
Okay.
had tried to make contact several times, and in the very beginning, it didn't seem like it was open a lot. There weren't a lot of cars. It was kind of, you know, whatever as far as finding somebody.
Right.
And then, Beverly, she is my friend, really good BFF. And so I know she's a veteran, and it's like, hey, we gotta try to get over there and do something and find out what's going on, because it sounds like a wonderful place, but we could never make contact. And then we just eventually did, and that kind of led us into doing classes here for some of the things that are energy related,
Okay.
holistically related, because I found that path because of, not
self-healing.
self-healing,
is basically what
self-care.
we're trying to do. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and we decided that we knew enough about it to want to share it with people, and we thought the best place to do that would be here.
So by meeting
Yeah.
Beverly, did you like come in for like a flute for vents or a drum circle thing first, and then you kind of got a feel for the place, or when you first came in, you started doing your qigong, and how did that go?
Unfortunately, it's quite a few years ago, and I don't really remember the particulars as
All
to
right.
how we started.
Right.
I think I made a little note. It was definitely a few years before COVID, maybe
Right.
2 years before COVID happened, and we had started the Qigong class on Monday evenings from 5:30 to about 6:15.
Right.
And so that was kind of the start of our path here.
My wife loves that class, by the way. It's just that life has been getting in our way, so it's kind of
Yes.
hard to get there. But she said, Michael, we really need to make an effort to get back into doing that again. So, did you talk to Kathy
Yes.
or Beth at the time, and did you say, hey, I want to help, volunteer, or how did that go?
Yeah, pretty much it was a Kathy connection, and just letting her know what we do and what we would like
Okay.
to share. And she was like, that's awesome, yes. And so that's how our journey here began, with that. And even, it's kind of strange, because with that being said, we've kind of progressed, and this year we're starting a Tai Chi class.
Mhm.
So we're switching things up a little bit, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself too.
Very easy, gentle Tai Chi, nothing too strenuous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very easy. So Monday nights, now starting at 5 o'clock,
Okay.
and we plan to go to about 6:15, 6:30. And the first half hour or so will be Tai Chi. The second half hour will be the Qigong class. And then with meditation here and there, maybe not every evening, every Monday evening, but we'll bring some meditations in. I have found that it's been very helpful for my healing. We started that when we moved out here. We connected with a Tai Chi teacher who then taught us Qigong and Tai Chi and all these different forms and things like that. And it was pretty wild, and it's really helped immensely with balance and stretching and different things like that with the energy healing.
In order to teach the classes, do you have to be like a certified instructor or anything, or you can just get like knowledge, and then just by doing it yourself you can just bring that in? And
Well, for us, we are not certified teachers. We are volunteers for health. It's
Right.
what we know. It's what we've been trained in by our teacher, Phil Hansen. And it's just wanting to share for people to be able to help themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because I didn't even know if you could be certified. I wasn't for sure. That's why I was asking.
There are some programs that you can be certified in, but that's not what we do. We do a very gentle qigong that is from the National Qigong Association, which is nqa.org, I believe, and you can go on there and you can check out the 5 treasures.
Right.
And we've just, been learning and we've gone to conferences and learned things there, all different things, but never taken anything for certification.
Could you give us a little idea what it would be like for the Tai Chi? For example, I did go to the Qigong class, and I know that a lot of it has to do with not only movement, but also like centering and feeling energy. So there's like meditation, like you had mentioned. So it's not just movement, it's also energy, spirit, like that. What is the Tai Chi about?
Well, the Tai Chi is more advanced as far as energy, and the postures are more, I don't want to say the word strict, but I can't really think of another word, where your body to be in alignment so that the energy can flow. That's the same with Qigong, but Qigong is simpler with the movements. It's
not as strenuous?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if we get some takers. We need more space because we've been in the flute room, and so Hero Paws has opened up their room to us for the Qigong class, so that will be interesting.
Oh, wow. Has this started yet?
It starts on Monday.
This coming Monday.
January 8th
All right.
at 5 p.m.
January 8th, 5 p.m. right here at the Warrior Healing Center.
Yeah, we'd love to see everybody here.
Please, yes, come on down and check it out. And what the cost for it is... It's your time, right?
Yeah,
that's
pretty
it.
much it's our time. It's free to veterans and their families. If a friend wants to come that is not a veteran, we do request a donation to the Warrior Center. Yeah.
That's very cool.
And that could be whatever you can give. I mean, if you can give $1, that's wonderful. If you can give $20, that's even better. But yeah, for veterans and their families, it's free.
Or maybe a food donation because they have a food pantry here.
I love that. Yeah, sure.
Very good idea, yes.
Yeah. So tell us also what you do a little bit more here other than just the Tai Chi and the Qigong. What else is there?
Yeah, there's a couple other things. Would you like to talk about the Reiki?
So, yes, recently we did get a room, which we do give Reiki to veterans free of charge.
It's almost a year.
It's about I guess it is
March.
about a year. So we do sign up veterans to get a session, approximately 45 minutes to an hour-ish, give or take. If anyone wants to Google Reiki and see what that's all about, you basically will be laying on a table, and it's again just energy work that we try to channel the energies that are all around us and help you with whatever you may be dealing with at the given time, for your good at that particular time. It could be anything from aches and pains to maybe your just mind is racing all over the place, and just help to settle your mind or your body and make you a little more level is what we try to think of it as. It can be hands-on with gentle touch, or no hands-on at all, if that's something that you would prefer. But all that could be discussed. And Melissa and I both are certified to give Reiki, and we do have our certificates if anyone is ever interested in seeing that. Yes.
Yeah, Reiki is really very powerful. The universal energy, it works emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally. And so I've had really great feedback from the people that have come and tried out this offer, this service, and there's quite a few people that come on a monthly basis, which is really nice. So it's not just a one and done. And also, if you're going through anything medically, it is a good complement to whatever else you know, if you're having treatments or have ailments in different levels that you're already seeing a doctor for.
Right.
It is a good complement, meaning going together with that. You know, you wouldn't come and say, okay, what can you do for me? I have this, let's get rid of this. No, you still, you know, you still go to the doctor, you still do what you need to do in that respect, but it does help relax the body and the mind. So, and it's
Very
spelled
cool.
Reiki, in case anybody does want to Google it.
REIKI.
IKI.
Okay. And if you're skeptical, I got to tell you, don't knock it till you try it, because I'm one of those people that was a little skeptical, and I tried the tapping, and afterwards I was like, wow, this isn't so bad. And then with the qigong, I mean, so you have to put yourself out, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. You get in there and you start doing this, and once you realize how easy it is and how calming it is and stuff like that, you're more open and more receptive to these types of treatments and healings and stuff. So.
And we've been doing Reiki since about 2018, I believe, is when we first did our Reiki 1 and 2. And this past, well, it's the year before, actually, we got our master training certificate.
Wow.
And so, you know, and we were kind of waiting for that in order to introduce the Reiki into the Warrior Center. We wanted to be, you know, full-fledged Reiki people.
Yes,
Right.
And,
certified, yes.
And so with that, as being, with that certificate, we are also able to teach. And so our plan is to be able to teach veterans how to do Reiki and to attune them so they can do Reiki on themselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then one of the other things we do here, Bev and I, we host a drum circle on the third Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been so well attended these last couple of months. We've had more than 12 people.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been incredible, and we've been having a really great time. So there's a lot of energy healing going on at the Warrior Healing Center.
Do you do some of the flutes too as well, or no?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I participate in the Flutes for Vets. Lynn is a wonderful teacher.
Right.
And that group, we meets Thursdays at 5 to 6:30. We just were there last night and had a dozen people. So that's another group of, and it's all energy, you know, music is energy, all this stuff, and it's good for relaxation, for anxiety, for blood pressure, you know, all those things to keep you calm.
And for those of you that don't know, when we're talking flutes, we're not talking about the like this type of flute. We're talking about the Native American flute, right?
Right.
So how it works is you start off playing on, I always call them recorders. I don't know what they're actually called, but the little blue flutes. And you learn on that, and then after you're done, you graduate, and then you end up getting a Native American flute at no charge.
Yeah, and those flutes that they have are absolutely beautiful.
They are.
Really beautiful. I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I think you need 12 hours of instruction, which is 8 classes. And then you get your flute. You get your beautiful, real Native American.
Right.
You don't play with that plastic one anymore.
And as far as the drum circle goes, it's not like you guys sit down with sheet music and you play stuff. You get into a rhythm and you just kind of play along, right? You feel the music, you feel the beat, you feel
exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, you don't have to be experienced at all for the drum circle. Bev and I really want it to be community oriented. So there's, you know, if you know something, that's great. You can come and share it, and then we'll all play along. Bev and I do know certain rhythms and things like that.
Right.
So, you know, we'll start a rhythm and people will chime in with whatever they can feel. And that's really what it's all about, is the feel of the energy and the drum and the vibration. So, yeah.
So you do an awful lot of volunteering here then.
Yeah, we're volunteers for health.
We really appreciate that. Thank you. Do you have any last minute, anything that you'd like to share, or any last words?
We just want to thank you, Michael, for letting us come on to your show.
Oh, my pleasure.
And we really appreciate everything that you do here also. So thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I do have a few announcements here if you guys can hang out for a couple
Of
minutes,
course.
and then we'll wrap it up for you if you can.
Sure.
So what we have coming for today at the Warrior Healing Center is Fun Food Friday. So it's the first Friday of every month. And today's fun food is, I'm not sure, but it'll be, come down, you'll be surprised. How's that? But it starts at 1100 today. Again, that's Fun Food Friday. And that is the first Friday of every month. Starting on Monday, January 8th, at 1700 hours going to 1830, we have a mixed class of Tai Chi and Qigong. And that will be taking place here at the Warrior Healing Center. Coming up also on Monday, January 8th, starting at 1730 and going to 1900 hours, we have the Discovery Bible Study, and that will be taking place in the Warrior Healing Center's Military Library. On Tuesday, January 9th, starting at 0900 hours and going till 1200 hours, is the Healing with Art, and that will be taking place at the Warrior Healing Center's main conference room as well. Tuesday, January 9th, starting at 1730 hours and going to 1900 hours, is the Veteran-Owned Business Meeting, which will be taking place at the Warrior Healing Center Conference Center room. On Wednesday, January 10th, starting at 0830 hours, is the Velo Vets Sierra Vista Group Ride, and they meet over at the Pueblo del Sol Country Club parking lot. On Thursday, January 11th, we have the Flutes for Vets Circle. That starts at 1700 hours and goes to 1830 hours. And then we have Thursday, January 11th, starting at 1830 hours and going to 2000 hours, is the Warrior Headspace and Timing, and that is a support group, again, meeting here at the Warrior Healing Center's main conference room. So that's our show for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you.
If you have any questions or comments, please put them down in the comment section. We monitor the comment section quite a bit, and we will be happy to get back and answer any questions you have, and we're hoping that you will all come in and visit with Melissa and Glenn starting next Monday.
Yes, please.
So, all right, everybody, have a great day. Fun Food Friday today starts at 1100. We'll see you all next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.